Mm. Goodness. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. My makeup is running down my face because I slept in my makeup. Buenos dias. Good morning. Good morning from Atlanta, everybody. How is everybody doing? I look a mess. Woo! And I am especially naked under here. Ooh. I totally forgot that my girlfriend was coming to meet me for coffee this morning. So she texted me and was like, "Are you awake?" I was like, you know, if I'm in a hotel, I like to sleep a little bit without my kids and my dog, just a little bit. And she was like, "Are you awake? I'm on my way." I was like, yeah, I'm awake. She was like, "I don't see Coffee Talk yet." I was like, shut up. So anyway, it is a beautiful day in Atlanta, and I have a big day. I'm kind of digging whatever's my hair's doing like this. I'm afraid I'm going to flash you guys, so forgive me. No PJs. Don't ask. I'm so tired. Okay, so I was going to try to get dressed before she got here, and then I realized I had to do Coffee Talk, so I took half my pajamas off and realized I couldn't do Coffee Talk half naked, so I put on a robe. So here we are. Okay, so one of the consistent themes that I see in the comments and the conversations that I am having with you guys offline, and really that I have with myself about love, is what it is that we need to do first before we can love anybody else. And by the way, this goes for loving them well. You are capable of loving people. You can have a child and love them immediately, but how do you love people well? What is it that makes a mother love a child well? What is it that makes a wife love a husband well? What is it that makes a girlfriend love her friends well, in the healthy way, in the right way? And I'll tell you, it's one thing. And when you do not have this one thing, it affects your ability to love other people, including your children. This is true. If you do not have self-love, if you do not have the ability to love yourself first, okay? I know the words live are on my face. Just ignore them, okay? If you do not have the ability to love yourself well, if you have not figured out self-love, if you are consumed with anxiety and self-doubt, if you allow people to walk all over you in any part of your life, it will affect the way you are capable of loving other people. Not how badly you want. Hear me out on this. Not how badly you want to love them, but your ability to love them. Because you will want to love your children well. You will want to love your husband well, okay? But if you have not figured out how to love yourself, oh my gosh, you guys are killing me. Just listen to what I'm saying. Don't worry about my face, okay? This is important, and I haven't had coffee, so I'm not saying it right. But this is really important to me. You have the ability to love anybody. But when you do not love yourself first, you cannot love anyone else well. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. I have to put so much work in to ensure that I love myself the right way, because I was emotionally and verbally abused as a child. That abuse about my weight and my value affected my ability to love myself. And for so long, I couldn't figure out why I was choosing the wrong people in my life. The wrong men, the wrong bosses, the wrong girlfriends. It was because I couldn't love myself well. I literally did not have the tools to love myself well. So I allowed people who didn't love me well either into my life, and it affected the way I loved other people. When you put the work into loving yourself, when you put the work into healing yourself, when you put the work into changing the inner voice, the way you speak to yourself, when you learn to truly love yourself, it opens you up to the ability of loving other people well. I'm going to tell you something, okay? I'm going to let you in on a little personal little nugget between me and Lionel Richie, okay? Lionel Richie said to me, swipe to the right, boom, gone. I don't know what that means. Okay. Lionel Richie said to me, there is something about the way that you look someone in the face when they are speaking to you and the way you speak back that is so captivating, that makes people feel like you genuinely love them, okay? And I said to him, I think it's because I learned to love myself. So when I am listening to other people, I can truly take in what they are saying. I have the ability to love them, even if it's not like, you know, like, obviously it's not like a romantic love, although he and I are obviously getting married, obviously. But we don't have to go into a whole Jamie and Lionel are getting married video because we already know that's happening. But the reason that I am able to do Coffee Talk, the reason that I am able to look at you and help love you back to life is because I put the work into loving myself back to life. And if once you are able to love yourself well, you are able to love others well. It is the only thing that has saved my marriage, because it is hard to love other people through it. When they hurt you, when they make mistakes, when situations come up in marriage and you want to run, when you are able to truly love yourself, you are able to set boundaries and say, here is what I will not tolerate. I love myself too much. And once they readjust, recalibrate, and respect your boundaries, you can love them through it. But it's only because you love yourself first. I'm telling you right now. And so now people say to me, okay, Jamie, I hear what you're saying. I've got to love myself well so that I can love other people well, right? We get it now. We're 5 minutes into the Coffee Talk and we understand. In order to love anybody else well, we've got to love ourselves well first. Well, how do we do that? How do you start to love yourself? First of all, you stop listening to everybody else. That is step one. You wake up today and you say, any criticism that comes my way from anyone else, anything passive aggressive, anything condescending, I will not give it life. When you give them nothing, they get nothing. I do not have to choose to allow your criticism into my airspace. It is a choice. The same way I can choose to let it in, I can choose to keep it out. That is step one. Step one. Do not allow the criticism, whether it be head on or passive aggressive, whether it be over social media, whether it comes from your mother, I don't care where it's coming from, you do not accept it. I will not receive this package. Do you sign for this package? No, I do not. Take it back to the post office. Take your passive aggressive, condescending tone, take your shame, take your blame, take your whatever back to the post office. I do not sign for this. Absolutely not. That is the first step to self-love. And it is not selfish. It is self-preservation. It is quite the opposite. And anyone who tells you that loving yourself is selfish is threatened by self-love. They are threatened. They are terrified that you will love yourself first. You must put yourself first. Don't you remember we talked about it all the time? When you're on an airplane and the flight attendants say, put your mask on before you put the mask on your children, and you think, what kind of mother would do that? What kind of mother would give herself oxygen before she gave her own babies oxygen? And the flight attendant explained it to me. She said, ma'am, if mama can't breathe, nobody breathes. Well, shit, if that wasn't an aha moment for me, my armpits started sweating. I swear I heard doves, some sort of choir was singing in the background. And I thought, if mama can't breathe, no one can breathe. Ain't that the truth? Take it to church, folks. Take it to church. So the first thing to self-love is you are going to tune out self-criticism, passive-aggressiveness, all of that nonsense, okay? You will not sign for it. Nope, you send that back to the post office. The second thing you are going to do is control your self-talk. Control the way you talk to yourself. You don't have to change the message, but you have to change the way you give it to yourself. So here's the thing. I used to look in the mirror and immediately think, all I see is fat. If I ate a bad meal, literally down to the breakfast I ate, or the dinner I ate, or the treat I ate, I would go to the mirror, because this is what my eating disorder did to me. And I would immediately stand in the mirror and pick myself apart. That voice is very strong. Very strong. I have to work really hard to keep her quiet. Okay? Now when I go to the mirror, what I do is say, instead of saying, ugh, my arms are so fat, or I have so much back fat, or whatever that voice wants to tell me, I have to force her to say, I'm going to work on toning my arms. I would love to have toned arms. My arms are strong. My arms can carry my babies. My arms can hug my husband. My arms can do things that we could talk about in pillow talk. I would love to have really strong arms. I want muscles in my arms. I'm going to do push-ups. I want muscles in my arms, right? As opposed to saying I have fat arms. These are things that I have to work on. But changing your internal voice is one of the most important steps to self-love, because the internal voice is loud, folks. And if you have given her room to grow and get loud, she does not like to be silenced. So when I get dressed in the morning, if I say, I look, I look fat, my fat's hanging over my jeans. And some of you may not think it's rational, but we're not here to be rational. When you have an eating disorder, it's not rational. So I understand my inner voice on my weight is not rational. Doesn't mean I don't hear her, okay? Anyway, when I do that, I try to say, I'm healthy. I'm blessed to have money to buy jeans. I'll put on a longer top and beautiful boots, and the outfit will look great. I just have to change the inner voice. And a lot of times when Michael has passed me over for sex, well, that's not true. Okay, Michael has never passed me over for sex. He's never rejected me, ever. He just doesn't initiate it a lot. So on the days that I felt like unseen by him, or the days that he wasn't initiating it, my inner voice wanted to take over and go, well, of course he's not initiating it. He's not attracted to you. You had 3 babies. You're fat. Your body doesn't look the same, blah, blah, blah. And that inner voice almost ruined my marriage, because she was so convincing that I believed her. And I allowed her to dictate and control the way I loved my husband back. So she convinced me the way the negative self-talk controlled my ability or inability at the time to love myself. And that, in turn, stopped me from being able to love my husband. And when you can't love yourself well, you can't love anybody else. So change the way you talk to yourself. Change your inner voice. Small steps. Small steps. For everybody who has shared my video, I'm literally squinting. I cannot see. Thank you for sharing this video. Helen, you're asking if I was fat, would I hate myself? Honey, you can't talk to somebody with an eating disorder and ask rational questions, okay? You just can't. I have body dysmorphia so bad that I battle it every day. You're asking me a question as if to say, Jamie, if you were thirsty, would you drink the water? I can't answer it that way. We can do a whole coffee talk on eating disorders if you want, but that's not what this is about. Anyway, I love you guys so much. The reason that I sit here freezing without coffee in a robe to talk to you is because I love you, because you matter, because it is important to me that you are able to love the people in your life well, especially your children, your sons and your daughters, that your voice, which will become their inner voice, is a healthy one. That is important to me, because the way you speak to your children will become their inner voice. I know, because I am trapped with my mother's voice in my head. And all the apologies in the world don't negate somebody's inner voice. I am here because I love you. I know you love me too. I see the messages back, believe me. And I see it when I meet you in the street. I feel it when you see me and you hug me and you shake my hand and you tell me you love me. I know it. When Lionel looked at me and said, when you tell me you love me, I believe you. Like, I don't know where your skill has come from. I don't know where your ability has come from. But when you look me in the face and tell me you love me, I believe you. And I said, Lionel, it's because I do. But it is because my ability to love other people is growing every day. Because the better I get at loving myself, the better I get at loving you. Remember, in order to love anybody, you want to know why your relationship is not working, why your friendships are failing, why you're struggling with your children? Look at the way you are loving yourself. How are you talking to yourself? How are you caring for yourself? Love yourself well, and then love other people. Because if mama don't love herself, mama ain't loving nobody. And if mama can't breathe, ain't nobody breathing. Remember what I'm telling you. Okay. I love you guys so much today. Be thinking good thoughts about John 3:16. And thank you so much for sharing my videos every day, for commenting, for liking and loving and supporting me. Please, thank you for sharing. I appreciate it. Now I'm off to find coffee and put on a bra. Have a great day.